1 week ago, McLaren could not even start a race. Today at Suzuka, Oscar Piastri is the fastest driver on the entire grid. Something dramatic has changed at McLaren, and it is not the only shock from Japanese GP practice. Here are 5 things that will completely change what you think about this weekend.
All right, first up, let's dive into the biggest shock of the day, something I don't think anyone saw coming: McLaren's absolutely miraculous comeback.
I mean, to really get your head around this, just think back to the last race in China. The team couldn't even get their cars started for the race. It was a complete disaster. Now, fast forward to today at Suzuka, and they're the fastest team on track. The turnaround is just, wow, it's staggering.
And it was Oscar Piastri leading the charge, topping the timesheets in that second practice session with a really blistering lap. But check out how close it was. We're talking just 9/100ths of a second. That's less than a tenth ahead of Kimi Antonelli. So close.
Now, if you're kind of new to F1, you might be wondering why this particular session, FP2, matters so much. Well, it's a huge deal because it's usually the session where teams stop messing around with weird setups and start showing what they've really got, something much closer to their true pace for qualifying and the race.
And listen, this wasn't just some one-off fluke from Piastri. Nope, his teammate, Lando Norris, was also seriously quick, grabbing 3rd place in the first session. That tells you there's some real, solid performance in that McLaren this weekend.
So this all leads to the one big question on everyone's mind, right? After that total disaster in China, is McLaren genuinely back? Have they actually fixed their issues? Or is this just practice pace that's going to disappear when it really matters tomorrow in qualifying? Okay, but before we all jump on the McLaren hype train, let's pump the brakes a little. We have to talk about the reigning force, Mercedes. They sent a very powerful reminder today that they are still the ones to watch.
Right out of the gate, in the very first session of the day, Mercedes just laid down a serious marker. I mean, they were totally dominant. You had George Russell leading his teammate Kimi Antonelli for a team 1-2. Honestly, they looked untouchable. And just so we're all on the same page, a 1-2 is simply when a team's 2 cars finish first and second. It's the ultimate show of strength in Formula 1.
Then, even when McLaren managed to snatch that top spot in FP2, guess who was right there? Mercedes, breathing right down their necks. Antonelli was less than a tenth of a second behind in P2, and Russell was just a little bit further back in 3rd. They are just so consistent.
So even with that amazing flash of speed from McLaren, you really have to ask the question, considering their dominance in FP1 and how solid they looked in FP2, are Mercedes still the team to beat here at Suzuka?
All right, let's shift gears and talk about another team that's hoping to get in on this fight at the front, and that's Ferrari. They're looking at this weekend at this legendary Suzuka circuit as a massive opportunity for them. So, their day-to-day? It was a picture of consistency, really. You had both Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton finishing 5th and 6th in both practice sessions. So yeah, they are solidly in that top group, but they haven't quite shown that ultimate headline-grabbing pace that we saw from McLaren and Mercedes.
But, and this is interesting, Lewis Hamilton himself is sounding pretty optimistic. He seems to think that the unique layout of Suzuka could actually play right into Ferrari's strengths and maybe, just maybe, help them challenge his old team.
And here's why that might be true. See, unlike China with its super long straights where pure power is everything, Suzuka is a proper driver's track. It's all about those flowing, high-speed corners. That kind of layout could kind of level the playing field and maybe cancel out that big straight-line speed advantage Mercedes has had all year.
Which brings us to a huge point for all the Ferrari fans out there, the Tifosi, and really all of us watching. With a car that seems better suited to this track, could this be the weekend Ferrari finally breaks through and gets their first win of 2026? And hey, if you are enjoying this breakdown, do me a quick favor and hit subscribe on PitCrew TV right now, so you don't miss any of our Japanese GP qualifying and race coverage this weekend. Okay, so while some teams are definitely hoping to move forward, one former champion, well, he seems to be going backwards, and fast. Yeah, I'm talking about Max Verstappen. He and Red Bull had a really tough day out there. He was already kind of off the pace in 7th in the first session, but then things just got worse. He slipped all the way down to 10th in the second practice.
But what's truly shocking isn't just the P10, it's the gap to the front. He was over 1.3 seconds slower than Piastri. In F1, that's not just a gap, that's a different postcode. It's an absolute eternity, and it points to a much deeper problem with that car.
And a big part of the problem seems to be something called energy deployment from their forward power unit. Now, all that means is how well the car uses its electrical boost on a lap. If you don't get that right, you lose massive chunks of time. And it really looks like Red Bull just hasn't got on top of it yet.
I mean, think about it. Last year, they were fighting for championships. This year, they're struggling every single weekend. It raises a pretty brutal question, doesn't it? Is Red Bull's 2026 season already over before it's even really begun?
And finally, for our fifth point, as if there wasn't enough drama on the track already, we got an unexpected twist from the people who make the rules, the FIA.
Yeah, literally overnight, the FIA made a last-minute change to the qualifying rules. This wasn't in the plan at all. It came about because the drivers themselves raised some big concerns, and the result is that every single team's preparation for tomorrow has just been thrown into chaos.
The whole thing was because of concerns about something called energy harvesting. Basically, that's just the fancy term for how the cars grab back electrical energy when they brake so they can use it as a power boost on the straights.
So, what the FIA did was they actually reduced the maximum amount of energy a car can recover on a qualifying lap. It might not sound like a lot, but it completely changes how the drivers have to attack their flying lap tomorrow. It's a whole new puzzle for them to solve.
And you know, this kind of immediate reaction, changing the rules in the middle of a race weekend, it really kicks off a bigger debate. Does the FIA change the rules too often, or is it actually a good thing that they listen to the drivers and act so quickly?
So there you have it. 5 sessions, 5 shocking revelations. McLaren transformed overnight. Mercedes still dangerous. Ferrari hoping Suzuka suits them. Verstappen struggling badly, and the FIA changing rules at the last minute. Tomorrow's qualifying could produce the most unpredictable grid of the entire 2026 season. Which of these 5 things surprised you most? Drop it in the comments right now. I read every single one. And subscribe to PitCrew TV and hit the bell so you never miss our qualifying breakdown dropping tomorrow. We will see you at Suzuka.